Hi everybody, so Shakti, Dr. Rose is back, and I'm talking about archetypes. So as I said before, I started a whole video series about archetypes. These are wonderful beings. I have worked with many archetypes in my life, and I'll, as the series goes along, I'll provide you with some specific examples of what has happened in my life. So I'd like to talk about, how do archetypes exist? Like, why can't we see them, for example? Why don't we see them as you do as human beings? As I said in the previous video, they exist within our collective unconscious. And as you can see here, I have my notes here. Well, you can see them here. And what is the collective unconscious? I mean, what does that mean? So the collective unconscious is the part of the unconscious mind, meaning that you're not aware, which is derived from ancestral memory and experience. And is common to all humankind, as distinct from the individual's unconscious. When we pass down these mythological stories and legends, regardless of what culture that you come from, or what cultures have influenced your ancestry, influenced you, it's ancestral memory. It's like in our DNA, not just because we, tell the stories, but this is within us, right? It's a part of who we are as people. What I mean by that is that we're not aware that these archetypes are within us. For example, there was a woman who recently contacted me about having issues regarding her people at work. People were not giving her respect for the work that she does. Maybe they were taking her ideas, things around that nature. She just felt like she wasn't being heard. And so she asked, well, what do I do? What can I do? So I told her, I said, chant the mantra HREEM, H-R-E-E-M. And HREEM is a mantra for self-esteem and self-confidence. So part of what she's experiencing is the fact that she doesn't have self-confidence, excuse me. I didn't say did I say self-conscious? I mean, self-confidence, self-esteem, right? She doesn't have that within her. I'm sorry, she doesn't have that awakened within her, which is why she's experiencing the problems that she's experiencing at work. People are not respecting her. They don't hear her ideas, or maybe they're even taking them or something like that, making them her own. Her self-esteem and confidence isn't there. So chanting a mantra, HREEM, can awaken that, So how do these archetypes exist? They do exist within us, and a lot of times we are unconscious. This particular woman who contacted me, she does not realize, or she didn't realize at the time, that the archetype she's looking for, the one that helps her with self-confidence, is already within her. Chanting a mantra helps to awaken that within her, okay? So, Dr. Pillai of the Pillai Center, he talks about archetypes being light beings, beings of light. What does that mean? So when you think about light, you can see light, you can see me, right? And the reason why you can see me in this video is because of light. Well, light exists on a particular spectrum. And we as human beings can only see a part of that spectrum. There are light waves that exist out there that we actually cannot see. For example, we can't see infrared. There's something called, is it ultralight? Something like that. I can't remember the term, and I apologize for not looking that up before I started this video. There are certain light waves that we're not able to see. We can only see in a particular spectrum. And so these beings exist outside of our naked eye. Okay? We're not able to pick them up. We don't see them. They're all around us. They're within us, and they're also around us, but we can't see them, right? Because our physical eyes are not able to pick that up. Now, when you're talking about the third eye and whatnot, it's a different story, but I'm talking about our physical, eyes. So we're only able to see a certain kind of spectrum. Archetypes also exist as sound waves as well. As you know, I've talked about mantras, and mantras, especially, there's certain mantras that don't really have a meaning, but they have an energy that's associated with them, right? HREEM is self-confidence. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it can provide self-confidence and other things as well. Or what is it? I think there's another interpretation of the dissolution of Maya or something, or in other words, cutting away Maya. You know, there's some kind of Maya's illusion, and so a lot of times we're just believing or existing in the illusion. And so Freem can cut that away so you can really see what's going on, right? Or experience what's going on. So sound waves, that's what mantras are, especially the ones that don't have a particular meaning. So you can chant a mantra to access the archetype in that way. You can also, there are drum rhythms. There are traditions where rhythm can evoke or invoke an archetype, can bring that archetype to life within a person, within a community, within a ritual or ceremony session. There's rhythm that does that. Music does that as well. So that's just different ways in which archetypes live as light beings or sound waves. Fortunately, we can hear certain sound waves, right? I mean, our ears can only hear certain kinds of sound waves, but we can experience that. And oftentimes, sometimes people will go into trance, you know, listening to rhythm. So light beings are typically, archetypes are light beings and they are sound waves, and they're all within us. And it's just a matter of awakening them. If you are experiencing problems in love, in wealth, finding a job, you're unhealthy and you want to get healthy, but you're having issues. If you're having learning and education issues, you know, you got a test that's coming up in a month or two and you need help, you know, or maybe it's just connecting with the divine. All of these things can be helped with the help of an archetype. They can be resolved with the help of an archetype. So I hope that provided something for you. Stay tuned, because in the next video, I'll talk about how do you, what can archetypes do for you? I mean, I gave you a little bit of an example, but there's more, and I'm gonna share with you the personal experience. And then also, how do you communicate with them? Like, how do you, if you're interested in the archetype, how do you bring them into your life? So that'll be coming up in this video series as well. So don't forget to subscribe. I put out a video once a week, usually on Fridays. And don't forget to hit the bell button so that you receive a notification that I have put up a new video. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. I'm available and can help you in any form or fashion. Or if you just want to talk about archetypes, you can do that as well. So everyone, namaste. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed week.